First Term at Malory Towers by Enid Blyton. Chapter 2. It was a long journey to Malory Towers, but as there was a dining car on the train and the girls took it in turns to go and have their midday meal, that made a good break. They had tea on the train too. At first, all the girls were gay and chattery, but as the day wore on, they fell silent. Some of them slept. It was such a long journey. It was exciting to reach the station for Mallory Towers. The school lay a mile or two away, and there were big motor coaches standing outside the station to take the girls to the school. Come on, said Alicia, clutching hold of Darrell's arm. If we're quick, we can get one of the front seats in a coach besides the driver. Hurry, got your bag? I'll come too, said Gwendoline, but the others were gone long before she'd collected her belongings. They climbed up into front seats. The other girls came out in twos and threes, and the station's one and only porter helped the drivers to load the many trunks onto the coaches. Can we see Mallory Towers from here? Asked Darrell, looking all round. No, I'll tell you when we can. There's a corner where we get a sudden glimpse of it, said Alicia. Yes, it's lovely to get that sudden view of it, said Pamela. The quiet head girl of North Tower had got into the coach just behind Alicia and Darrell. Her eyes shone as she spoke. I think Mallory Towers shows at its best when we come to that corner, especially if the sun is behind it. Darrell could feel the warmth in Pamela's voice as she spoke of the school she loved. She looked at her and liked her. Pamela saw the look and laughed. You're lucky, Darrell. You're just beginning Mallory Towers. You've got terms and terms before you. I'm just ending. Another term or two, and I shan't be coming to Mallory Towers anymore, except as an old girl. You make the most of it while you can. I shall, said Darrell, and stared ahead, waiting for her first glimpse of the school she was to go for at least 6 years. They rounded a corner. Alicia nudged her arm. There you are. Look, over there, on that hill. The sea is behind, far down the cliff, but you can't see that, of course. Darrell looked. She saw a big, square looking building of soft gray stone standing high up on a hill. The hill was really a cliff that fell steeply down to the sea. At each end of the gracious building stood rounded towers. Darrell could glimpse two other towers behind as well, making four in all North Tower, South, East, and West. The windows shone. The green creeper that covered parts of the wall climbed almost to the roof in places. It looked like an old time castle. My school, thought Darrell, and a little warm feeling came into her heart. It's fine. How lucky I am to be having Mallory Towers as my school home for so many years. I shall love it. Do you like it? Asked Alicia impatiently. Yes, very much, said Darrell, but I shall never know my way about it. It's so big. Oh, I'll soon show you, said Alicia. It's surprising how quickly you get to know your way around. The coaches turned another corner and Mallory Towers was lost to sight. It came into view again, nearer still, round the next corner, and it wasn't very long before the coaches roared up to the flight of steps that led to the great front door. It's just like a castle entrance, said Darrell. Yes, said Gwendoline, unexpectedly from behind them. I shall feel like a fairy princess going up those steps. She tossed her loose golden hair back over her shoulders. You would, said Alicia scornfully, but you'll soon get ideas like that out of your head when Potty gets going on you. Darrell got down and was immediately lost in a crowd of girls, all swarming up the steps. She looked round for Alicia, but she seemed to have disappeared. So up the steps went Darrell, clutching her small bag and racket, feeling rather lost and lonely in the chattering crowd of girls. She felt in quite a panic without the friendly Alicia. After that, things were rather a blur. Darrell didn't know where to go, and she didn't know what to do. She looked vainly for Alicia or Pamela, the head girl. Was she supposed to go straight to North Tower? Everyone seemed to know what exactly to do and where to go, except poor Darrell. Then she saw Miss Potts and felt a wave of relief. She went up to her, and Miss Potts looked down, smiling. Hello, feeling lost? Where's that rascal of an Alicia? She ought to look after you. All the North Tower girls are to go there and unpack the night bags. Matron is waiting for you all. Darrell had no idea which way to go for North Tower, so she stood by Miss Potts, waiting. Alicia soon appeared again, accompanied by a crowd of girls. Hello, she said to Darrell. I lost you. These are all girls in her form, but I won't tell you their names just now. You'll only get muddled. Some are North Tower girls, but some belong to the other houses. Come on, let's go to North Tower and see Matron. Where is darling Gwendoline? Alicia, said Miss Potts, her voice stern, but her eyes twinkling. Give Gwendoline a chance. And Sally Ho? Where is she? Said Alicia. Come on, Sally. All right, Miss Potts. I'll take them along to North Tower and nurse them a bit. Sally, Gwendoline, and Darrell followed Alicia. They were in a big hall, the doors leading off to either side, and a wide staircase curving upwards. The assembly hall, the gyms, the lab, the art rooms, and the needlework rooms are all on this side, said Alicia. Come on, we'll cross the court to get to our tower. Darrell wondered what the court was. She soon found out. Malory Towers was big, built round a large oblong space called the court. Alicia took her and the others out of the door opposite the entrance they'd come in by, and there lay the court, surrounded on all sides by the building. What a lovely place, said Darrell. What's that sunk piece in the middle? She pointed to a great circle of green grass, sunk a good way below the level of the court. Round the sloping sides of the circle were stone seats. It looked like an open air circus ring. The ring sunk low, and the stone seats rising upwards around it, Darrell thought. That's where we act plays in the summer, said Alicia. The players perform in the ring, and the audience sit round on those stone seats. We have good fun. Round the sunk circle on the level was beautifully set out garden with roses and all kinds of flowers planted there. Green lawns, not yet cut by the gardeners, were set between the beds. It's warm and shelter in the court, said Darrell. It's too hot in the summer, said Alicia, steering them all across the court to the opposite side. But you should see it in the Easter term, when we come back in January, leaving our own homes in frost and maybe snow. We'll find snowdrops and aconites and primroses blooming in all the beds here, and the sheltered court. That's gorgeous. Well, look at the tulips coming out here already, and it's only April. At each end of the hollow oblong buildings was a tower. Darrell Alicia was making for North Tower. It was exactly like the other three. Darrell looked at it. It was 4 stories high. Alicia stopped short just outside. On the ground floor, there's a dining hall or common rooms where we go when we're not in class, and the kitchens. On the second floor are the dormies, where we sleep, dormitories, you know. On the third floor are more dormies. On the top floor are the bedrooms of the staff and the box rooms for our luggage. And each house is the same, I suppose, said Darrell, and she looked up at her tower. I wish I slept right at the top, in the tower itself. What a lovely view I'd have. Girls were going in and out of the open door at the bottom of North Tower. Back up, they called to Alicia. Supper's in a few minutes' time. Something good by the smell of it. We always got a golly good supper the day we arrive, said Darrell. After that, not so good. Cocoa and biscuits, something like that. Come on, let's find Matron. Each of the tower houses had its own matron, responsible for the girls' health and well being. The matron of North Tower was a plump, bustling woman, dressed in starched apron and a print frock, very neat and spotless. Alicia took the new girls to her. 3 more for you to doze and scold and run after, said Alicia with a grin. Darrell looked at Matron, frowning over the long lists in her hand. Her hair was neatly tucked under a pretty cap, tied in a bow under her chin. She looked so spotless that Darrell began to feel very dirty and untidy. She felt a little scared of Matron and hoped she wouldn't make her take nasty medicine too often. Then Matron looked up and smiled, and at once Darrell's fears fell away. She couldn't be afraid of a person who smiled like that, with her eyes and her mouth, and even her nose too. Now let me see. You're Darrel Rivers, said Matron, ticking off her name on a list. Got your health certificate with you? Give it to me, please. And you're Sally Ho. No, I'm Gwendoline Mary Lacey, said Gwendoline. And don't forget the Mary, said Alicia pertly. Dear Gwendoline Mary. That's Alicia. That's enough, Alicia, said Matron, ticking her way down the list. You're as bad as your mother used to be. No, worse, I think. Mother came to Malory Towers when she was a girl, she told the others. She was in North Tower too, and Matron had her for years. She sent you her best love, Matron. She says she wishes she could send all my brothers to you too. She's sure you're the only person who can manage them. If they're anything like you, I'm very glad they're not there, said Matron. One of the John's family at a time is quite enough for me. Your mother put some grey hairs into my head, and you've certainly done your bit in adding a few more. She smiled again. She has a wise, kindly face, and any girl who fell ill felt safe in Matron's care. But woe betide any pretender, or any lazy girl or careless one. Then Matron's smile snapped off, her face closed up, and her eyes glinted dangerously. A big gong boomed through North Tower. Supper, said Matron. Unpack your things afterwards, Alicia. Your train was late, and you must all be very tired. All first formers are to go to bed immediately after supper tonight. Oh, Matron, began Alicia, groaning. Can't we just have 10 minutes after? I said immediately, Alicia, said Matron. Go along now. Wash your hands quickly and go down. Hurry. And in 5 minutes' time, Alicia and the others were sitting down, enjoying a good supper. They were hungry. Darrell looked round at the tables. She was sure she would never know all the girls in her house, and she was sure she would never dare to join in their laugh and chatter either. But she would, of course, and very soon too. Thus ends the second chapter.